And that's about where.
Good, because I had no other. I couldn't think of any other.
Yeah,
rules
I was
I'd like to
thinking,
just...
and I had come up nil with nothing.
I think it would also be really cool for the, like, you remember Pennis had his herbalism and crafting potions, but all he could ever craft was the healing potions, and having the opportunity to craft mana potions or the opportunity for a party to buy mana potions would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
So alternatively to the fatigue thing, if you ran out of spell slots and somebody needs a heal, chug a rug and
chug a lug.
So the last thing I want to say on this is 5th edition streamlined the skills. Right? 3.5, yes. I think 4 is where it got really a big long list of skills. And every time you leveled up, you got skill points that you could then put into new skills or bump up the skills that you already had. I really liked that system where I could like increase the skills or get new ones. But I really liked the, let's shorten the list way down. Here are all the skills. Anything you could think of to do could probably fit into one of these. So I wouldn't mind if they brought back away. I ran into this just recently where you could, as your character progresses, gain proficiency in a skill that you did not get proficiency in when you created the character.
Yeah.
Or that you didn't get because you took a feat at 4th level instead of ability score increase. Would there be some way? So I'm playing this rogue tabaxi assassin. And in this instance, I had to become like the face of the party. And I was role play wise, it was some great shit. But, you know, I am my own favorite critic. And I was saying these great things to convince an NPC. I was saying these great things to rally up a crowd. And the role play was spot on. I was saying stuff. It was entertaining to the rest of the players. It was good for the story and all this. And I'd say all those things, and the DM would say, make me a performance check. And I'm not proficient in performance, so I'm like a +1. And I roll it and get a 2. Like all of this great stuff that I just said and inspired and role played. And it came down to you rolled a 2. Now, I think in some cases the DM could just say, you role play that so well, I'm going to give you advantage on that. Or to Mike Mason's point, sometimes you can just say no roll is necessary
you did
here.
Good job.
Good job. But he kept making me roll those performance checks. It didn't seem like that whole night. Every time I had something I had to roll for, it was one of those damn things that didn't have a check mark by it. Now, I'm a rogue, and I've gotten the expertise thing, right? So I have a lot of check marks on my sheet. And there's only a few, but damn it, I swear to God, he had a list sitting in front of him. Things Steve is not proficient in, and he was going after him. And it just made me think, I wish there was a way. And I said that was going to be real quick, and I went on and on. I got a bit of a soapbox there, but some way to
reward.
To branch out into other skills.
Yeah, definitely.
As you level up.
All right, let's vape it up. And if you want, after we get done with the vape sesh, we can talk about a little more about the skills like that. Like, it's always bothered me. You can have the most charismatic person at the table. If they're not playing a paladin or a bard or a warlock, then they can...
That sure is a good-looking monk over there.
They can stand on the table and everybody be cheering them on while they're giving their speech. And
you could bring the DM to tears and be like, okay, now roll for it.
And you're fudged.
That's something I do love about Call of Cthulhu, is that as I do things well, even without the roll, like, you can give me, like, there's opportunities to show, like, that's the way my character. And I was gonna say that the skills, like, even though it was a super long list and it was a little encumbering to actually play, I was able to put a lot more personal flair into my character as to what I wanted them to be good at. and what I wanted them to be not so great at. Whereas now it's a little
And you didn't have to be a perfect
wishy-washy.
predictor of what the campaign was going to be,
Yeah.
right? You build the character, and then as the campaign progressed and you leveled up, you're like, I really need to put some freaking points in stealth. This is coming up way too often, and I'm failing doing too much, right? And so
you can
build
make
up.
adjustments, which would be organic to your character, because as your character is playing or in their world, they're like, man, I'm having to sneak around a lot. I really ought to train up in this a bit, get a little better.
And it's organic to the campaign too. Like your character evolves to fit the situation they're in, and that's what I really love about like skill-based games instead of class-based. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what you pick at the beginning.
you can evolve your character.
You can evolve it.
Whereas in 5.0, it's kind of, find a feat at the levels you can take a feat and hope for the best. And there's some of us who don't take feats. There's some of us, and I'm not one of them. I will never not take the feat. I will always take the feat. I don't know why, but
I have just recently started taking feats. I used to always take the ability score increase, because if I could increase my dexterity by 2 and get to the next level, then that means on every arrow I shot, I was +1 on the attack and on the, not on the damage.
I believe so.
On the damage proficiency. Yeah, that goes as the proficiency bonus that doesn't go on the damage. I don't know. But
Yeah.
it was like every time, and I use that word all the time, as opposed to a feat that might every now and then come into play, and I get to use it. So to me, it was an economy thing.
yeah.
Take the ability score increase, because it's going to affect nearly every attack roll I do.
But I tend to take feats that give me like either proficiency, or they give me advantage, or they give me immunities and things like that kind of play in. I don't take the what's that one where you always know what direction you're facing? Fucking dumbass one. It's the worst fucking. That should be a topic. Worst feats.
Dude, we'd have to do some homework on
Right.
that one.
We just need to put it in the docket to do it later, because I could talk for hours about that shit. Some of those feats are trash.
I think the problem is that D&D, if you are in a particular group, some groups are more geared towards combat, some groups are geared more towards role play.
Some towards exploration. I can see there being tables out there where having the feat that you always know where you're at in relation to your surrounding and which way is north is critical in some players'
we
games.
stopped doing random encounters on the road to places. Now we just are like, yeah, you get there.
Do you remember back in the day you had to have a 10-foot stick at all times so you could poke the walls and shit?
Right. Everybody carried a quarterstaff.
Poke the wall.
Back in the day.